What's up, guys? Welcome back to another one of those things where I like to yap about my life, even though none of you asked for it. Um, and this is life update number 2. We are in October now, which the end of October, which actually makes this about 4 months. I think 3, 4 months. I quit in July, so I think that makes it 3 months. Officially 3 months, going on 4 months since I quit my full time job and I took on cinematography full time, content creation, cinematography full time. And this last month has been insane for me. I have done so many different things that I didn't even know I could be doing. So right at the end of September, I was actually really fortunate enough. A friend of a friend reached out to me. She was like, "Yeah, we really love your work. Would you be happy to do some BTS for us on this really popular show?" Now I can't tell you what the show was, but I can put up some of the shots that I took, the BTS shots that I took, and it was an amazing experience. And that was like my first time on a proper set, and that was just the end of September. It was a really good experience. I got to meet with a bunch of other creatives, a bunch of different people in their professions, and I'm gonna show what I look like. I actually had a haircut back then. I rarely ever like keep a haircut for a while. Once I get a haircut, it's done. I'm really anxious these dogs are gonna like knock over my tripod. Cool. So they didn't knock over the tripod then. What I was saying was that it was a really great time. It was a really great experience on set for that shoot. I got to meet so many different professionals, so many different creatives, so many people in different spheres, different things. I just learned a lot from being on that shoot with so many different people. So shout out to Ore, who was the one who put me on, and then shout out to Audrey, who was my friend, who's friends with Ore, who put me on. It was a really great experience, and I'm looking forward to doing more of those in the future. Then I started to pick up a lot more editing work. So there was this girl, a friend of mine whose name is T, actually. Shout out to T. She had a lady who she works with in her office, and the lady was like, "Yeah, I need someone to do these edits for Cut Close." She's having an event with Cut Close. That's like a popular 90s band, if any one of you guys know that. I didn't know, but I was getting paid, so I just edited it. And yeah, it wasn't a terrible experience, but it was a thing where it kind of dragged on. One thing I will say is that when I started off this journey, I was like, "Yeah, editing's great, man. I love to do editing." It's not. Working with clients, editing for clients is like terrible. It's insanely terrible. You know what it is? It's just because, especially when people don't know what they want, they make that your problem. But the editing thing with Jazz was really cool. That was great. I finally got that out and I got paid. And I've been like, for those of you who watched my previous one, the September update, getting paid was like my biggest thing. Now I'm getting paid like on a regular basis, and I'm at that point in my life where my business is really picking up, where it's not even just having to ask people to, can I do this for them? It's people reaching out to me like consistently. Like off the back of the show that I did at the end of September, the producer, I won't say his name either because I want to keep this kind of like simple and easy, but the producer reached out to me just last Friday, I believe, and it was like, "Yeah, my brother's having like a relaunching for his company. It's like a really corporate event. I really loved your work for what you did on the show with us, so can you come and do some of that stuff again, and we'll pay you, obviously." It's like, "What are your rates?" Guys, that is amazing. And I'm so thankful that that's my experience thus far. Moving on from Jazz's edits, I've been doing edits for my studio. So for those who don't know, I actually work in a studio. It's called Common Sense Studios. It's a podcast mainly studio. So I've been doing edits there, but I've had a real struggle because that's been bleeding into my personal professional life and then my actual personal life. Like I'm editing for clients who really don't know what they want and taking 2 weeks to get back and this and that. And it's caused a lot of stress, so much so that, I don't know, man, my hairline might be thinning. I might be at that point where it's time for a trip to Turkey. I've been screaming to people for so long. I'm threatening to just cut off all my hair because I don't know, man. I constantly feel stressed. I can't complain because my goal was to eat. So why am I stressed about having food on my plate? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just have to stick it out, thug it out. What I will say was that was an eye-opening experience for me working on the Common Sense podcast editing, because it really told me I'm on a journey of becoming like a full-time cinematographer at DOP. And for now, I'm marketing myself as a videographer who both shoots and edits because it's just the best way to get paid. Because I just need to be able to just keep getting paid, right? I don't have any other really income except from shooting and editing. So I have to offer them as a package deal, which does get me clients, it does get me money, but it also means that I'm constantly like working. There's never really a time where I just get to like shoot and go. With the actual TV series that I did at the end of September, that was really nice because I didn't actually have to edit, but I have done some edits and I'll show you some of them right now. But I didn't have to edit, and that was like the process for me. But with like the podcast stuff, it's just been constant editing. And the problem with podcasts is that, especially when people aren't big brands, big name people, they have so many things to say about the edits, which I get it. It's your work. That's like one of the things I hate about creativity. It's your work. The creative space is your work, so people will really get finicky about their work. But when you're the one editing, it's really sucky because it means you have to go back to do this, to do that, to do that. And when you're trying to balance like 15, 16, a lady and her dog just like passed to walk past. I keep telling guys, I love living where I live because it's like a really nice neighborhood. Nice old white ladies with their little pom-pom dogs and stuff. And let me get back to what I was saying. I was editing these podcasts and it was just taking me 2-3 weeks to get around to completing minor changes because there was so much discommunication between myself and the clients. Yeah, I just think I know now that podcast isn't really where I want to spend most of my time. There's a lot of work and not a lot of pay, and it's just really finicky a lot of the time because it's like, oh, can you, like at 10 minutes 26, can you make sure I didn't sneeze? I'm like, but you sneezed, so I don't really want to have to edit that out. Outside of that, T, who was the person who got me Jazz's contract, T has her own show out. It's called That's the T. Go check it out, guys. I've been doing the edits for that, doing some of the shooting. She's actually shooting in our studio, which is really nice. It's been a bit of a struggle with T's episodes just because we've had a lot of... No, T's like a really good friend of mine, so it's never really a thing of like, oh, I flipping hate you because you did this. There's more a thing of like, okay, cool, because it's her first time doing this sort of stuff. I'm trying to get across to her there are certain things that we should do that make it functional as a show, but obviously she has her own sort of things and ideas and stuff, and you know, mixing friendships and businesses is always not an amazing idea, but I think we've really found a good stride, especially right now. So this is like 27th of October, sort of towards the end. We've really hit a good stride. We are a couple of episodes up and those are posted and ready to go, and we've had discussions about future seasons to come, about the fact that, you know, 1 month we're going to shoot, 1 month we're going to edit, and then the month afterwards we're going to be posting, like releasing, and the month that we're posting and releasing, then we'll do some reshoots for them, some next episodes, and that's how it should be structured. In this season we've started, it's been a case of I've basically had to edit per week, which, number one, isn't necessarily her fault because she made the announcement a bit too early. Nobody was sure about everything, and definitely on my part, because I've been inundated with so much work, I haven't had all the time to get around to editing so many things. And when I'm editing stuff, that's the thing with editing. If you can edit early on, because you never realize the sort of issues you run into editing. I had a situation where I was editing episode 4 for her. I think it was episode 4, episode 3. So I gave her 3 episodes, but the 3rd episode I gave her, she didn't want that to be episode 3. She needed another episode to be episode 3. So I had to edit another episode to be episode 3. And in that editing, we ran into so many. My Wi-Fi was like terrible at home, and she flew over to a different country, so she wasn't able to do the posting or the socials or anything. And it was a whole hullabaloo. There I was working from 9 a.m. till basically 12 midnight editing this one episode so we could get it out for the next day release. And it was still late anyways because my Wi-Fi was terrible. And that's been twice now. We've had a situation where we're editing for the week of release, which is not a good idea. In anyone's books, it's not a smart idea. So right now we're up a couple of episodes. What has been a really good idea is to take a break, take a breather, and just kind of, after these sort of episodes, batch record, batch edit, batch post, batch record, batch edit, batch post. And that's how a lot of content is actually really done in today's market. Very rarely do you like go outside and make content and then like post it. It's like people will do things like months in advance, and that's what's released now. Because it's just a way to make your life easier, which we finally got done. So yeah, that's been good. Let me see. Oh, I forgot to mention, guys, I got a new phone. It's actually right here. I got the iPhone 16. I'll actually show you the unboxing experience right now. This was a lackluster morning. You alright? I tell you guys, everyone is friendly over here. I don't think I could ever leave. I actually don't think I could ever leave because it's like people are just pleasant, just good human beings. They definitely would have called me a slur like 100 years ago, but whatever. As I was saying, I got the iPhone 16 recently, just a regular 16. I think I have so many opinions about tech. I really wish I could further develop this into a tech channel, but I don't have the consistency for that. But one day, man, you know, JBAMHD, like MKBHD, but like with a J in front of it. iPhone 16, not the Pro. The 16 is perfectly fine. I used to have the 12, the regular 12. I'll show you what that busted 12 looks like. Yeah, it was a necessary purchase. Was it really great? My financials, I'm in a better financial situation than I was last month when I was screaming down you guys' throat like, oh, I need people to pay me. People have been paying me, so I'm doing much better, and I've been able to balance out my books a lot nicer. Was this smart? Hell no. This was like very dumb for me, but it was also a thing if I needed a new phone. That phone was really like, I had to like curl the charger around in many different ways. I had to like, it was shattered at the back, the cameras weren't amazing, and it was really old as well, and the battery wasn't charging, so everything was going wrong with that thing. So yeah, I guess that's just one of the biggest things that's changed for me recently. Is like, I've got a new phone, and it's just been, I don't really use it for anything. Like, I'm not highly on socials all the time. I'm not using this for content. It's just simply to have a new phone so I could go about my day, like, you know, whatever. Let me see what else I've been working on. No, that's all the major shoots I've been doing. Oh my god, this thing is on 8%. Yeah, I mean, the battery is dying, or it's dead. I don't know, it looks that sort of way to me. That's too. I'm using like a wireless monitor, by the way. So I'm probably gonna have to switch locations, but don't go anywhere, guys. I'll be back because there's more to yap about. I did just want to take a moment to show you guys what exactly my neighborhood looks like. This is the kind of view that we get over here, guys. Let me zoom in a little bit. That's like the Sainsbury's area, very close by to where I live. This is like the park, really nice park area. Maybe try and focus. Yeah, in the distance over there, that's like I don't think it's Canary Wharf, but it's somewhere in central London. If I can get Canary Wharf, it's gonna be here somewhere. So I'm not sure if you can tell, but just like right there in the center-ish, that's Canary Wharf. Can I show you that thing? Just let me go sort the battery out. This is like a POV of walking in this park. Let me see if I can flip this around to myself. So yeah, I over-rigged this camera. There's an ND filter on me, so the sun shouldn't be too tough. But I just realized, hold on. This looks very stupid, but I put the tripod back on put the camera back on the tripod. This is how we're vlogging now. Bunch of dogs just ran past me, still chugging along. I will say though, I'm surprised that the decision I made has been going really, really well for me. Yeah, those were not friendly dogs. They were looking at me like they wanted to call me all kind of words. But yeah, I'm really surprised. Which I shouldn't be surprised. I'm like actually talented. I'm good at what I do, but I don't know. There's that weird sense of imposter syndrome. Like, I'm in places I didn't even expect myself to be at this point. I'm 2-3 months in, guys. 2-3 months in. It's only God, man. I just give him the glory. I should be doing this because this is the way the ND filter will work its best, but just made it across the bridge. Again, I am probably as surprised as you are that the battery's lasted this long. I don't live like that far away from the park I was just at, but the battery told me it was dead. It was like, yep, red, I'm dead. I'm in life. You know what, in the meantime, I could just kind of brush on the second part that I wanted to discuss. So yeah, I can't really complain because the goal was to eat, right? The goal was to have food on my plate. But I feel like the food has come at the cost of everything else that life comes with. Like, I'm doing so well in the business aspect of it and in the creative aspect of it. There have been some personal achievements I've been trying to achieve for a while, for the longest. Maybe I should walk backwards so I can get the sun in my eye. In making such a big choice to quit my job, I haven't really given myself the financial backing to complete those personal things, and even smaller personal things like going out with friends, showing up for birthdays, but just stuff like that I haven't been able to do because I've been so busy with trying to make my bottom line and trying to keep my creativity up and trying to edit. Okay, we'll do this next part when I sit down. Okay, so just so you guys get a bit of continuity, Lord have mercy, this is a cable I just went home to grab. That was the actual only thing that I needed, because this cable I'm going to use to basically route into my camera. This is the Sony ZV-E10 Mark 1, but I'm going to use that cable to route in an external battery. I really love how people stare at me, because I will say this: if you're not the kind of person who can take people looking at you, you shouldn't do this content creation stuff. It's not for you. Long story short, people are always going to look at you bringing camera out in public. This is what I'm doing. See, I've put the battery in there. It's really difficult doing this one-handed, but Basically, it's a small rig MPF battery, and I'm just gonna route it into the camera. Plug in. Nice. Plugged in. Should be charging. Okay, that should give us continuous power. But yeah, let me get back to using the camera now. So, as I was saying before, I rudely interrupted all of you guys. With everything I'm doing professionally, it's starting to take a toll on my personal life. My family doesn't see me until like midnight most days because I'm out either trying to build my website or trying to shoot for a client. And the thing is, I do a lot of shoots, but not all shoots are paid. So people see me on my socials and they think I'm busy all the time. Yeah, but it's to look busy, because looking busy is how you tell people that, yeah, you're doing something and what you're doing is worthwhile. I'm not always paid all the time. I'm getting paid a lot more, but not all the time. And yeah, it's just, I don't want to say start to bug me out, but start to feel like maybe it was the wrong choice. I don't know. There was a couple of milestones I've been trying to reach. Like I said, driving. I actually had my CBT. I think about 2-3 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago. CBT, for those who don't know, is compulsory bike test. I don't know. Yeah, I should know because it's a part of the test. It's a part of the thing you do for a CBT. I had that. I failed. I actually failed not because of like business stuff, just because I've never ridden a bike before. So like the motor skills, I didn't actually have the motor skills to ride.
What?
You right? Morning.
Did you run your church this time?
No. Yeah, there is one. There's one right there, like 2 minutes away, just right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No worries, mate. You're right. That was fun. You know what's funny? So my room is like up there somewhere in one of these houses. You'll never know which one. I'm joking. My room is up here somewhere, and I get to see people all the time. So I see a lot of recurring faces. So it's interesting that they now get to see me, because they don't really see me in my room. So I had my CBT earlier on this month. It's basically like a pre-license before your actual motorbiking license. I actually failed. I crashed. You're not allowed to crash. I didn't crash on the road. I just crashed in the parking lot that we were testing in. It was an eye-opening experience for me that, yeah, you know, I might be doing well in my like professional life, but my personal life is suffering. I don't take enough steps to like actually meet the requirements I need for my personal life. Like, and on top of that, I also did have a theory driving test that I was supposed to do actually last Wednesday. I couldn't do it because I had to cancel it because I was canceling because I was editing stuff. Another example of my professional life basically bleeding into my personal life. I actually forgot to say this while I was on the hill. I did do UK Black Business Week very recently, which is, a lot of people thought that I was getting paid for that. I wasn't getting paid for that. There's a really funny story behind it. So essentially, I have a friend, Mimi, who I met last year at my first UK Black Business Week. We're not tight, but you know, we're boys, kind of. Mimi, another girl named Zena, and another guy named Pierre. I met last year at Black Business Week. Mimi was working Black Business Week this year again, and Black Business Week was at Excel, which for me is like 10 minutes down the road on the Elizabeth line. Thank you, TFL. So one of these days, on the Monday, I just message her like, yo, what's it saying? So I just go and see, and then she links me up with the person who's actually in charge of the production, like the visual production. So I'm chopping it up with the guy, his name's Ollie, chopping it up with him, telling him about what I do, and he's like, well, if you want to shoot, you can use our name to go around and shoot, we just won't be able to pay you for it. So that's what I did. I just went around shooting stuff, BTS stuff, and then I did a bunch of production stills for them, but it was a really good experience. And one really funny experience is that my old company, which I was with from last year, I won't say their name, but they were there as well, and they were just like, oh, how are you? And I'm like, it's so crazy how life is. That's the company that I quit from working this year in July. They were there at UK Black Business Week, and I saw a lot more black faces than I saw last year, so something's going on over there, which is really good. But yeah, I'm kind of in a very interesting phase of my life now where so much is happening for me all at once, and I'm sort of managing it really well, but I don't know. I feel like maybe it kind of goes back to the point that I made in the original September video, is like, for you to get the life that you want, some things in your own life have to perish, and I'm finding that out now in not the hardest ways of possible, but in a very interesting way. My personal life is taking a bit of a toll on this. Things are shifting for me, things are changing for me. Now I'm having to make plans for myself and do this and schedule. It's really interesting. I feel like an adult, like a fully functional adult, but life's good. I can't complain. Life is really good. And I'm looking forward to all the shoots that I have to come. I'm looking forward to one day maybe getting an award. I'm looking forward to one day having my name mean something in the mouths of people. That's what would make me the happiest. That sounds corny as hell, but that's my truth, that's my reality. My future goal outside of cinematography is to be a creative director. I want a scenario where people come to me with random ideas they can't even fathom, and I'm just the person that go, yeah, but he can make it real. He can make those things real. I think if that's the future that I get maybe 5 years from now, then all of this was worth it. See you guys. Yeah.